The adapter the adapter, is that something that you can put like in the car?
What adapter are you talking about?
My phone.
What are you talking about?
Because Google, when I use Google Maps, it uses up a lot of my phone power.
So yeah, the adapter's in the car. You just plug it into the thing. It's on the top.
It's the very top.
Yeah, you pull that out and you plug it in.
Okay.
It's in the storage area.
Oh, okay. That was my concern.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Saturday morning, Bitcoin Brandon here from Los Angeles, California. Getting our day started. Go ahead and type in the chat box where you're listening in from. So we have Mr. Court Gomes, Anissa Jenkins, Latifa, Darnell Abram, Gina Ray, Antoinette, Mafoos, Emil Davis, Tony Pinkston, whose wife won free Bitcoin, Lorna Vasquez, Jamarge Lopes. Welcome. Damon Floyd from Philly. Gerald Gardner. As a disclaimer, I'm not a licensed financial advisor to be discussing financial advice. I read the news, give my opinion, share suggestions, and it is up to you to make an informed, intelligent decision on what you do in the crypto space. What's going on, Rohan Johnson? There's 4 rules I live by in the crypto space to have success. Rule number 1, crypto education is key. It is everything. Rule number 2, never invest money that you cannot afford to lose. Rule number 3, always get your return on investment back as fast as possible. And rule number 4, where do you see yourself in 3 months, 6 months, a year from now? What are you willing to do to make it happen? Make a decision, choose a vehicle, take action, and remain focused. Do not get distracted. I have seen people lose millions because they're trying to get all the bones and not concentrating on the ones they already got. Now, this is not going to guarantee you success, but it will at least minimize your risk. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the most that we can ask for. All right, let me get things set up here with the screen shared. need to bring this up. Let's see here. All right. You guys should be able to see my screen, and we're going to talk about the SEC. It's always smart and good to pay attention to anything that they're doing, and they say in the crypto space, because this is going to impact us short term and long term. So the SEC ramps up enforcement. I don't necessarily like that. Short term. 60% of smart contracts are dormant. Okay. In Saturday's edition of the Daily, we take a look at the SEC's annual report, which reveals where cryptocurrencies sit on their radar. We also consider the fate of dormant smart contracts, 60% of which have never seen use, according to a new report. All that plus the reaction to Coinbase's latest token listing, which hasn't pleased everyone. The U.S. SEC has released its annual report, and the 45-page document has plenty to say about cryptocurrency. ICOs are referenced more than 30 times in the report, which notes in the past year, the division has opened dozens of investigations involving ICOs and digital assets, many of which were ongoing at the close of financial year 2018. The report also explains that the SEC isn't just looking at ICOs, but at other potential scams being perpetrated within the cryptocurrency space. It finishes. The division also has recommended that the commission use its trading suspension authority to prevent investors from being harmed by possible scams. The commission suspended trading in the stock of over a dozen publicly traded issuers because of questions concerning, among other things, the accuracy of assertions regarding their investments in ICOs and operation of cryptocurrency platforms. You know, I don't like that. What they are doing, I'm going to break this down in layman's terms, is they're expanding their reach. Whereas before, they only concentrated on ICOs, and they left it up to states to concentrate on individual companies operating in those states. That's why you would hear of a state issuing a cease and desist order against different companies. And understand what a cease and desist order is. It's not saying that we find you guilty of doing something. What it's saying is we don't think that what you're doing is registered in our state. So we want you to come up before us, explain what you're doing, pay the fees to get registered, and then we will remove the cease and desist. That's how that works. What this is now saying is the SEC is now going to go beyond ICOs and look at any company involved in crypto. My problem with that is they're looking at everything with a negative eye. And before they understand what's going on, they have the power to shut you down. That's the problem I have. And I have already predicted that in 2019, we are going to see a wave of new companies launching and coming about in the crypto space. Now, yes, some of them are going to be scams and only designed for short-term gain, even though that's not what they advertise. But not all of them. And my worry, I don't like to use that word, my concern is that the SEC will lump everybody together, you know, fire shots and then ask questions later. So I'm concerned about that. But I also think that it's a necessary evil because it will also shake out those bad actors in the space. And then the ones that survive, you know, are really in a place to be here long term. You know, we are almost coming upon a year of the idea of KGX. In January, it'll be a year. In the very first video that we recorded, I got to go back in my logs. I think that was February of 2017. So we're literally less than November, December, Jan. Around 90 days away from us putting KGX together. And we survived a bear market throughout all of 2018, and we're still here. And we haven't even really gotten started yet. And we've helped dozens of people to make a lot of money in a short period of time. So I'm proud of that fact and that record. And I can't wait till you see what's coming. As soon as the green wallets are released, it is game on. And everybody's going to see us coming. I can't wait for that. But in the meantime, this isn't a concern that we have because we did everything and made sure everything that we're doing is as compliant as we possibly can be under the current market and able to adapt when the laws change. Nothing we do happens without going through our attorneys first. And I absolutely mean nothing. Everything's got to go through them first. So that's one thing I have confidence in. And another thing that separates us from many other companies, and I guarantee you as well, going into 2019, there will be many different companies that come out that's going to kind of do what we do, or I don't like to use the word copycat, but have their own niche in this space. And guess what? There really is no competition. There is room in this space for everybody. If the entire network marketing industry has been surviving on a $40 billion market that they've all been picking from since the last 60 years, what do you think can happen in a multi-trillion-dollar industry of crypto? There's not going to be one company that's just putting everybody out of business. It's not going to happen like that. So we're here and we're here to stay, and I'm real proud of that. All right, I don't need to, I'll read a little bit more of this. Let's see. SEC zeroes in on cryptocurrency scams. 60% of smart contracts have never been used. Researchers at Northeastern University and the University of Maryland have pored over the code governing Ethereum smart contracts and emerged with some interesting findings. Of the 1.2 million smart contracts they examined, the vast majority were clones. That means that they copied somebody else's white paper and just switched out the name of the company on it. I've seen that. So I'm like, are you kidding me? And those companies still ended up raising millions and millions of dollars with a copied white paper. So as a result, they found there to be less than 6,000 unique smart contract clusters. The danger with such widespread usage of code, as the researchers pointed out, is that vulnerabilities are likely to be spread. So in other words, they're saying it's like copying. When you were in school, you knew who was the smartest dude in your class. And so people would always try to copy off their paper. But what if you were copying off of the worst student in class? Then that means all of your copies have the wrong answers as well. So if you're copying code and the code happens to be flawed and everybody's copying the same code, that's not good. All right, enough of that article. Let's go on to the next. I'm going to talk about Tether. And it's not that I'm fascinated with Tether. I think that Tether is one of the most simplistic things out there that most people still don't get or understand. It blows my mind. And when I say most people, I'm talking about the media. It's like they keep echoing the same talking points. That's not true. From individuals who have never actually traded before or even used the strategy of why Tether is there. And Kai Sedgwick, and I don't like him, is the author of this article. So let's see if he can get it right. You would think so, but let's see if he can get it right. Tether confirms new bank and claims to have 1.8 billion in cash. Tether Ltd has confirmed the identity of its new bank. The company behind the eponymous Tether stablecoin, USDT, has historically been reluctant to disclose its banking arrangements for fear they might be jeopardized. I'm down with that. Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to put a target on your back like that? Yeah, we've got $2 billion and it's in this bank and this bank account. And yeah, here's all access to it. No. It has now issued a statement, however, confirming that it is banking with Deltec Bank and Trust Ltd. The identity of Tether's new bank, Bahamas-based Deltec, has been public knowledge for a number of weeks. On November 1st, Tether released a statement to confirm its banking relationship with the 72-year-old financial institution. The statement emphasized Deltec and Tether's commitment to compliance and transparency in a bid to stave off the sort of criticism that has been leveled against the company. The acceptance of Tether Ltd. As a client of Deltec came after their due diligence review, read the announcement. This included notably an analysis of our compliance processes, policies, and procedures. A full background check of the shareholders, ultimate beneficiaries, and officers of our company, and assessments of our ability to maintain the USD peg at any moment, and our treasury management policies, Tether continued. This process of due diligence was conducted over a period of several months and garnered positive results, which led to the opening of our bank account with this institution. Deltec reviews our company on an ongoing basis. One word that was conspicuously absent from Tether's statement was audit, something that a tranche of the cryptocurrency community has been requesting for months. Such an undertaking, should it ever occur, would need to be handled by a specialist third party and is not a duty that Deltec could perform. Tether insists cash deposits will cover all USDT. In addition to confirming its banking relationship, Tether provided a copy of a letter from Deltec dated November 1st stating that its cash on hand stands at $1.831 billion. If accurate, these holdings would cover the $1.76 billion of USDT in circulation. While some commenters poked fun at the rudimentary nature of the signature on the document, you're going to get that petty. The majority seemed relieved to see prima facie evidence to suggest that all USDT in circulation are backed by a US dollar. That should shut things up. Let me go to CoinMarketCap right now and show you guys what they mean. If you still don't really understand Tether. Tether is the safeguarding for traders in the crypto space, a place to put your coins to store value in a volatile market. And traders have figured out that when they realize the market is about to drop, they move their coins into Tether. Now, why would Tether allow this? Well, one, every time you move money, you're paying a fee to do so. So Tether is making a killing off of the transaction fees of people moving their money from the other coins into Tether for safekeeping. And what do I mean by safekeeping? Well, let's let this load up. Tether, oh wow, and look at this. It is back to $1 again. Remember 2 weeks ago, Tether took out $300 million for profit and it dropped down to 93 cents because panic. And what did I say? It's going to go right back up to $1. Y'all need to listen to me. And that's exactly what happened. It was just needed to stabilize itself. It's got 1.7 billion tethers out there, which is backed by $1. And here is evidence and proof that there's a bank, Deltec Bank and Trust Limited, that is holding $1.8 billion of their cash, which means there's still another $100 million worth that they have assets of. They're solid. So I'm going to continue for the time being to use Tether and know that my money isn't just going to vanish or disappear. It's actually banked by money in a bank. So if Bitcoin right now is at 6,300 and the market decides to do another drop like this and goes to 5,500 and I decide to pull my Bitcoin out and put it into Tether, I have 6,300 value sitting here. The market drops down to 5,500. I take my tether out, move it back to Bitcoin. I ended up with more Bitcoin than I had before because I got it cheaper. And I still had the 6,300 value to begin with. And then when the value of Bitcoin goes back up to 6,300, I just made a boatload of cash. Did I sell my Bitcoins? No. I used my mouse, did a couple of clicks, and moved money around. That's how wealthy people do it. The vast majority of the industry still can't figure that's Tether's goal. Tether is not a cryptocurrency coin. It is not. The official term they use is a stable coin. Court, you're right. You can do that all day. I've only done it maybe 3 times this year when I saw major market corrections because I don't day trade. So I'm not watching it to be side trading all day long. I was talking to co-owner Will Fietlin the other day, just yesterday, and he makes a killing side trading. He made like $7,000 or something the other day. Makes a killing side trading. You know, even if the market is flat, you can still make money if you know what you're doing and you know how to read this chart. When I go to Chicago, I'm going to have a special sidebar. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it or where yet, but we're going to really go over, because I need the leaders to understand this, how to read CoinMarketCap and an exchange properly. Not just look at it, oh, Bitcoin went up, oh, Bitcoin's going down. Know how to read this. It tells you a story. When I first saw this for the first time, it was like Greek to me. I'm like, oh, it's like the stock market or Forex. I don't understand all that stuff. Now when I look at it, it's like reading a book. These numbers is telling me a story. The first number I look at is this one right here, total market cap value. And then I look at what Bitcoin's dominance of it is. And then I look at the top 10. I look to see what's been the last 24 hours changes in the market. Red, green. Right now, the market's straight up flat. Flat. I got to look at the exchange to see if a squeeze is taking place, to see if there's going to be a breakout in any direction. So all top 100 coins, only a few's in double digits, red or green. So it's flat. Let's look at the top performing the last 24 hours. You got basic attention is up 14%. And then wax, 5%. So you got a couple of them that, you know, and these are coins that's in the top 30 and above. You look at the worst performing, Digitex Futures, Ravencoin, Aurora, Nexo, Stratus, Horizon, but it's still, you know, below 5%. So this tells me nothing's happening in the market right now. So you don't need to be doing anything crazy or wild or worried about anything. But in Chicago, we're going to have a special sidebar where we're going to learn, and I'm going to go over and share how I read this chart, and I can come to conclusions about what's about to take place in the market and how to profit when that happens. Especially, you want to use this strategy when it comes to green. And why I'm emphasizing this is that a lot of people have bought green mining rigs. And I'm going to keep saying this till I'm blue in the face. It's not about how much money you're going to make. It's about how many coins you're going to end up with. And once you get your coins, it is completely in your hand determining how much money you're going to make. It's not up to green. It's not up to KGX. It's completely up to you on how much you're going to make. When you decide to sell, how many coins you decide to sell, how often you decide to sell is in your hand, your control. So you're going to need to know when and how. So by reading this chart, I would know if let's just say it hits the market at 2 cents. And I wake up in the middle of the night for whatever reason. I look at this because Asia and everybody's up. And I start to see a trend that this market cap is about to explode past 300, 400, $500 billion. I would know by default all the coins are going to rise with it, which means the green is going to rise with it. And then I'm going to pay close attention to see when it gets to its high. And then I'm going to sell a small percentage of my coins. Why? Because number one, you always get your money back and you want to always get some profit. That is the name of the game. You always want to get some profit. And then knowing that your machine is still producing coins every single month. There's a strategy to this. You don't want to end up to be that person that you don't know how to read this properly. You don't know the correlation, how it can follow exactly what Ripple has done or what Stellar has done or what, Cardano has done. Look at the prices of these. Cardano is at 7 cents. Stellar is at 23 cents. Ripple's at 45 cents. Do you know how much they were when they first got started, when it came onto the exchange? So that's what I'm saying. You just imagine, even Tron with 65 billion coins is at 2 cents. The value of your coins are going to be when this market as a whole rises. That has nothing to do with the real world application of green. So your ability to read that is going to help you maximize your profit. Or if you don't know how to read it and you see it going up, you get excited, you think it's just going to go to the moon and never stop. And then it does a market correction, which it will do, and drops again, you just lost. And then you decide to start selling in a panic because you think you're going to lose everything. That's what happens when you're not educated. So even though you bought a green machine, you still need to be educated on what to do now that you have the coins. That's what KGX is here for. All right, let's go over the last, do I want to continue this? No, last article. Bitcoin billionaires. And if you guys like the information I'm sharing, make sure you hit the like button. Don't just come on and just look. Show me some love. Hit the like button. Darnell, has anyone received their link to green yet? No. Well, that's not true. I do. But I was in the test group. So I actually can see the back office, but nobody has their wallets. And when I say nobody, that is nobody. Not even anybody of the other wholesalers that's selling, that sells the green. Nobody has access to that wallet. What you may see from them is the test groups. Test groups. Because there's a test net, then you have mainnet. Mainnet is not live yet. So nobody has access to that. And Darnell, I hope you can appreciate that we have no control over that. When green is satisfied that they're not going to get hacked, that security is in place, because they have far more to lose than any of us. They own more coins than any of us ever will. Then it'll be ready. We just got to sit back and wait, unfortunately. Bitcoin billionaires, Winklevoss twins sue crypto pioneer Charlie Shrem. All right, what's this about? Winklevoss twins are good at suing somebody, like Mark Zuckerberg. You guys ever seen The Social Experiment? So Bitcoin billionaires Winklevoss twins sue crypto pioneer Charlie Shrem. Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss, the first Bitcoin billionaires, and they will not be the last. And the founders of cryptocurrency exchange Gemini have reportedly filed a lawsuit against crypto pioneer Charlie Shrem. Shrem, the 28-year-old BitInstant founder who served time in federal prison for knowingly selling Bitcoins to people who said that they wanted to use the funds to purchase drugs on now defunct dark web marketplace Silk Road, has claimed that he went to prison with virtually no money. I don't believe that. He's not that stupid. However, in the 2 years since his release, he has lived an affluent lifestyle, acquiring millions of dollars in property, as well as multiple Maseratis and powerboats. Really? See, that's one thing that I will not be doing. Or if I do some stuff like this, it will not be advertised. Nobody will know it. This is crypto. Gotta be careful. Now, according to New York Times crypto lead Nathaniel Popper, Shrem's former business partners, the Winklevoss twins, have filed a suit alleging that he stole 5,000 bitcoins from them in 2012, coins that are now worth more than 31 million and were valued at nearly 100 million after December 17, 2015. What is it with people stealing Bitcoin from their partners? That seems to be happening a lot lately. I'm just saying. They're claiming he stole 5,000 Bitcoins from them. Either Shrem has been incredibly lucky and successful since leaving prison, or more likely, he acquired his 6 properties. You're right, it's not green X, it's just green. You're right, Darnell. Or, oh wait, let me read that again. Either Shrem has been incredibly lucky and successful since leaving prison, which I couldn't put past him because it is crypto. Things can happen very fast. Or more likely, he acquired his 6 properties, 2 Maseratis, 2 power boats, and other holdings with the appreciated value of the 5,000 Bitcoin he stole. An excerpted portion of the filing reads, excerpted. According to the report, Shrem may also owe the government $950,000 in restitution stemming from his 2013 plea agreement, and the judge who oversaw that trial has agreed to freeze some of Shrem's financial assets. Ray, if you're talking about the call with Dave Smith, that hasn't been released to the public just yet. The attorneys are going over it. So separately, U.S. District Court Judge Jed S. Rakouf granted the Winklevoss twins' request to freeze any Bitcoin funds that Shrem was holding at Zappo and Coinbase, where the twins' private investigator believed he had funneled the missing BTC. Hold up, really? You would move your coins to freaking Coinbase? And Zappo? Move it somewhere that, nobody's heard of before. Don't put a target on your back like that when you got the IRS looking at everything on Coinbase and Zappo. Responding to the Winklevoss brothers' allegations, Brian Klein, Shrem's lawyer, said that the claims could not be further from the truth, and that Shrem, who also founded the once affluential Bitcoin Foundation, will quickly clear his name in court. The lawsuit erroneously alleges that about 6 years ago, Charlie essentially misappropriated thousands of Bitcoins, he told the New York Times. Nothing could be further from the truth. Charlie plans to vigorously defend himself and quickly clear his name. Okay, so how'd you get the money, Charlie? Since you've been out of jail, what you been up to? I am not putting it past you that you can't. I was at the Crypto Invest Summit and met a guy who turned $400,000 into $50 million in 6 months. So is it possible? Absolutely. Is it probable for him? Yes. He has the skills to do it. He was here from the beginning. Do I put it past him to have taken 500 Bitcoin or 5,000 Bitcoin? I think he absolutely did. I'm with the Winklevoss twins on this one. Now, I don't have any proof to back that up. I'm just going off of I just have a feeling. So while he was in jail, he was just sitting back smiling like, the moment I get out of jail, oh man, it's on. I'm buying property. I'm getting my cars. I'm getting my women. I'm getting the beaches, power boats and yachts. I'm living the life when I get out of jail. And I got 5,000 Bitcoins sitting there waiting for me to spend. Plus, using that money as an investment to start other businesses. So I think he did it. I can't prove it, but I'm with the Winklevoss twins on that. All right, and that is it for Crypto Talk for this morning. I should be back for Late Night Crypto Talk. We will be having the KGX presentation at 3 p.m. Eastern on kgxglobal.info. I need this green to get out of the way. We have so much stuff that we have not talked about. And it is game on. Man, I can't wait. But I'm so excited about green as well. Green itself is going to change a lot of people's lives. A lot. Especially those that are looking long term. Like, you got to think Bitcoin on this one. Looking long term. At least 2 to 3 years. 2 to 3 years from now, I still want to be holding the vast majority of my green coins. Because by that time, the value could be over $1 or $2 per coin. I want you to think about that. Right now, you want to accumulate as many coins as possible. What if you had 30 or 40 million coins 3 years from now? You know what? I like playing with numbers. Let's pull out the calculator again. Let's play with some numbers. All right, come on, calculator, open up. And again, I'm not a licensed financial advisor to be giving financial advice. I'm just playing with numbers here. There's no guarantee that this is exactly what's going to happen with green or any other coin for that matter. So let's say you've got 30 million coins 3 years from now. And let's say at today's valuation, it would be at 2 cents worth. That's $600,000. Let's say, let's use, how many machines would it take to get that many? So let's say 1.2 million coins a month times 12. That's 14 million, 15. Okay, let's just say you only had 2 machines, okay? And it took 3 years for 2 machines to generate 30 million coins. And this is not accurate at all. I'm just playing with numbers here. That investment is less than $8,000. Less than $8,000. And now you got your machine working for you. You didn't pay nothing else. 3 years later, at 2 cent valuation, and we're talking about $600,000, more than $500,000. What are you making on your job right now? Let's say you're making $75K a year. And you multiply that times 3 years. You made $225,000 in 3 years, working almost 365 days a year, but working 5 days a week for 12 months, or actually for 48 months. 20, 12, 24, 48. For 48 months, doing 40 hours a week. If you're making $75K a year. What looks better? $225,000 after 3 years, working 40 hours a week, or one-time payment of buying machines for less than $8,000. 3 years later, you end up with 30 million coins, and at a 2 cent valuation is $600,000. Do you see why the wealthy get wealthy and stay more wealthy? But I use today's money, today's valuation, if it was 2 cents. But what if 3 years from now, the coin is not worth 2 cents, but it's worth $2? $60 million. You understand why people can't sleep now? That's why it's also important, your education, that you don't sell everything as soon as it hits the exchange because you just thought you made 60 grand. That's what is my rule number 4? Where do you see yourself 3 months, 6 months, a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now? I'm just playing with numbers here, ladies and gentlemen. What if that's too much for people? If that's just too unbelievable, let's go back to CoinMarketCap and let's look at Ripple's price of 45 cents. Okay? All right, well, let's do the math. You have 30 million coins at 45 cents. That's $13.5 million. Why do you think the Winklevoss twins became billionaires when they invested only $11 million? Because what was the price of Bitcoin when they invested $11 million as compared to what it is today? If you have not ordered your green machine yet, the reward far, far outweighs any risk. You guys understand me here? That's all I'm saying. So anyways, I will be doing a KGX presentation at 3 p.m. Eastern on kgxglobal.info. Let me go ahead and put that in the chat box. Those of you that's going to be in Chicago, we're going to have some private training. You're going to have Jairus Coleman, myself, Diana Townsend. We're all going to be there. And I can't wait to sit down with some of the leaders in Chicago as well. And I need the leaders to understand and know this stuff. So anyways, thank you guys for listening in today. Exciting things happen in the crypto space. I am glad to be alive right now. I'm not threatened by anybody or anything going on out there. I wish everybody to go get theirs. And there's plenty of room for all of us. Let's go get this money. Bitcoin Brandon out. Have a great day. Bye-bye.